Morning, everyone. It's all right. Morning, it's Donna here from Homesteading New Zealand with the Blind Knitter. Hope all is well. Not sure if you've noticed, but behind me I'm in a different environment. I'm at my daughter's house. So it is Labour weekend here in New Zealand, and so we are celebrating workers and having a long weekend. So Monday's a holiday and it's Friday today, and it is my grandson's what do they call it, teacher only day. So I am grand sitting and fur child sitting for the weekend because my daughter and her husband and my granddaughter and her husband have gone up to Rotorua for a long weekend without children. So two of my grandchildren are away with their other grandparents and one grandchild staying with me. So will be my place of my podcast this week. So I have ordered some food, some click and collect it's called, where you order online your groceries and have them, well, I'm actually getting them delivered. So there'll be some stuff for us to play with and have some cooking fun, which is my goal. And I'll bring you along on the journey. I'm also third child looking after. So there are two dogs here, Tilly and Hulk. I don't know where they are at the moment. So I'll have Tilly, Hulk and Kenzie. They're all big dogs. Hulk is a Mastiff. Tilly's a greyhound, and of course Kenzie, my guide dog. And I just love having them around. I love animals, love being with my grandkids, love my fur grandchildren. So it's going to be a lovely weekend. I'm in town, which is a novelty for me because when I stay at home, of course, not driving, I'm stuck at home. So when I'm in town, I've got a little bit more freedom. I might take my grandson to the movies or something just a bit different. Because I'm freer to do that. So that'll be what my podcast is about over the next few days. I'll do it and then upload it. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'm sure you'll get plenty of dog fixes, cooking fixes, and I have brought my knitting too, so I'll update you on where I'm at because I have been jumping along on my knitting as well. Yeah, see you soon. Hello, so here we are today. It is Thursday night and I have got tea ready. So Friday night we tend to have just a fridge Friday, just whatever. If we have nuggets and sauce or just leftovers in the fridge. But we do have a lot of leftover vegetables this week. I was away all weekend, Friday to Sunday. As you know, I went and stayed at my granddaughter's and did some babysitting. I won't say babysitting, young, almost teen sitting. So I did that, and so we've got a lot of veg. So what I thought I would do tonight is cook a stir fry with the veg. One of the advantages of when you prep it all, and I am so love this, having my veggies all pre-prepped in bags so that when you come home, like for example, last night it was cold. Mr. Farmer had the fire on when I got home. So we had pie and it just wanted veggies, and so I just picked up 2 bags of veg, put them in the pots and they're done. Yes, I'm hoping that I keep up with that one. I really want to, because I just found it makes so much sense and so easy. And the same with this stir fry. I looked at the bags of veggies that were prepped in my veggie drawer in the fridge and thought, oh yeah, no, that's chocker, we need to do something about that. Let's get some of those veggies off. So Thursday evening is a bit like my Friday. So I do work Friday and Saturday, but it's from home, and it's phone counselling, phone consult counselling. And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my busier days when I'm in town and at the office. So Thursday night is kind of like my Friday. I've had a glass of wine, so that's the start of the evening, or the start of my weekend. So I've had a glass of wine, and I'm going to make the stir fry. So I'm going to take you down. I'm going to guide you through the stir fry, and then we're going to go from there. So I will bring you down, and I am using, oh, can you see? I am using my, just make you a little straighter so that you don't get vertigo or seasickness. That's better, isn't it? So this is my big pan, my wok that I love, that I bought in an op shop years ago, and it is one that they use in commercial restaurants. So I'm going to turn the gas on, and what you want is to put the oil so that it is, this is new oil. Not that we use oil very often, but our favourite is bran oil. I don't know why. We started using it years ago, and you know, we are, oh gosh, how does that, that's not working, is it? Oh god, I'm going to give up on that, and I'm going to use my spray. That was no good. So this is canola oil, which is just a spray. So you want it up around the edges, and that's one of the keys when cooking stir fries or anything in a big wok, is put your oil around the edges. Don't put it in the middle. It'll fall down into the middle, which is normal, but here we go. You want it down into the middle. I have my, I'm going to put that lid back on that oil. I don't quite know. I've stretched that. That's weird. Anyway, I'll get Mr. Farmer to look at that. So wait till the oil's a wee bit hot. I prefer to put my carrots in first, and I've said this before when I did my, I think I did stir fry rice from memory with you. So I've got everything already here. I've got all my veggies that have been prepped, that have been in the fridge. I've got my spices and my herbs all done. I'm not going to make a huge batch. I'm just going to, so I won't use all of these veggies, but I do like to do my carrots first because I prefer them a little softer than, I just find they're the ones that you could slice them thinner, of course, but I've sliced them, put those there, I've sliced them to either be cooked or, so when we had the pies last night, I made carrot and parsnip mash and cabbage, which was lovely. Mr. Farmer wanted some spuds, but I didn't bother doing any, so because I figured there's a lot of pastry in pies. So I had a potato top pie, so I had potato on it, and Mr. Farmer had a steak pie. So let's get that a little started. So I always put my carrots in first. It doesn't have to be for long, just a little while. It just kind of gets them going. I have my, what I'm going to do is do a stir fry of vegetables without meat in it, and I'm just going to put some frozen fish. I'm just going to lay those on the top. So they're going in now. The oven is on, and oh god, I need to clean my oven. Oh. So, fish is in. I might put that on for, say, 15 minutes. Put the timer on so that I know to do that. Once these have had a little bit of time on their own, and like I say, it doesn't need to be much. 2 minutes is probably oodles. Then I start adding the other things. So what I have done here is I have some broccoli stalks. Never waste anything, so when you've had broccoli you can put your stalks in, so I'll put those in because they are something that is a little bit harder. I've got red, normally I have white onion, which does take a bit more cooking, so I would normally put my onion in now, but today, because I had so many red onions, I've got red onion, and that takes a lot less cooking. So and oh, I forgot to show. I had a couple of leftover radishes that were, I love radishes. So I had a couple of leftover radishes from my nibbles last night, so I will put those on. Just keep them moving around, nothing major. This is on high, but depends on, I could put it on a bigger element and make it mega hot, but I'm not going to. Now you can put your bits in, and again, like my fried rice, I love garlic. I'm going to put 2 good heaping teaspoons. I just use crushed garlic out of a jar. I have garlic in the garden, and I'm sure that I will. This is crushed ginger, and I'll put the same amount in. A couple of good teaspoons. So ginger and garlic make the perfume and make it smell lovely. Garlic can burn. So one of the problems is that some people can put garlic in too soon and leave it cooking for too long. So you don't really want it to cook long. You just want it to just heat through and then start adding other things. So now I'm going to add my onions, and I'll just put the radishes in now because I like them all. They all cook at similar stages, to be honest. Red onion, radishes. I've just got some water to add in there. Now you can use stock. I do have stock in the pantry, but quite frankly, I can't be bothered go and get it. So it's just water tonight. It is Thursday night after all. So I'm just adding a bit of water. Oh, it takes a little while for that to heat through again. Once it heats through again. So I thought over the weekend I would talk about, I was thinking about what can I talk about on my podcast. It's spring here in New Zealand, and so I have had my frozen toasted sandwiches and my frozen pizzas that I've made in the freezer to take for my lunches. Loved having those, but of course it's getting warmer. And so what I normally do is have some homemade 2-minute noodles and some homemade salads. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully I'll get that done just this weekend and take that and put it into this podcast. So that's my goal. I was going to talk about something mental health, and it's completely gone, but I'm sure it'll come back to me because I love talking about mental health. I get a bit geeked out about it, as you know. So that's starting to boil again, so it's getting a bit hotter again. I probably put a wee bit too much. You can't go wrong with this. It's just, basically, it's just throw everything in and, cook it. That's all there is to it. It's just, as long as you know what a cooked vegetable feels like, sort of al dente. I like mine quite firm to the bite, al dente. Mr. Farmer likes his a little bit softer, so it's a fine balance between the two to find a happy medium. So they have started boiling along and simmering along. Just waiting for them a bit longer. Yeah, it's been a busy. Well, no, actually, no. I lie. It's not been a busy week. It's been a very quiet week. But I've deliberately done that. I've really needed the rest. I've had quite a considerable site changes, and I'm hoping it's just because it's a change of season, and that does tend to make a difference to my site, the change of seasons. But yeah, quite a drop. And that, what screws with my head for a start, it's like, oh God, here we go. It's all the stuff getting worse and worse and worse. Anyone with any disability, invisible or no obvious ones, will understand that. It gets in Mrs. Marsh. Anyone my age will understand that. yeah, so I have had a considerable change in my sight, and it's been a bit difficult. And I think I mentioned a couple of podcasts ago that I was really struggling with my anxiety and stuff. So I have been very, very conscious of self-care, and I know what I need to do when I feel like that, and I've been doing it, and I am certainly feeling a lot more stronger and better in myself. But my sight is still a bit of a challenge. So, right, boiling along. What we need to do is start adding some more veggies. Now, always start with ones that are harder vegetables. I've got capsicums here. I've got red capsicums and orange capsicums sliced up. What is that one there? Oh, and broccoli sliced up. These are all my prepped veggies that have been, so I prep them. When I get them, I slice them all up, get them ready. I put a handy towel in there, I take the air out, and I have them sitting in my fridge. They last so much longer, and on dinner night, bang. Cabbage is the best one to add last. It seems to be the one that softens the quickest, and you kind of want cabbage a bit firmer and crunchier. So I'm going to start adding these other ones now to this. I am going to add some capsicums. Again, I'm not going to add all of every one of these. I might even do a, I don't know, a frittata or something with the leftovers, but there's a lot of veg here that hasn't been eaten this week. So take the air out of it again, put the handy towel back. So that's the red capsicum, and we've got the broccoli. We love broccoli, so put half that broccoli in. I'll have to find some things to do during the weekend. Oh, actually, I think I'll put all that in because there's not a great deal in there, and we do love broccoli. So that's all in there, and half of the orange capsicum. Different colours, red, orange and green. I don't have any green, but they do taste different. Different colours. So half of those is enough, plenty for us. So again, take the air out of them, put them back in the fridge. I'll just leave them there for now. So that is all my sort of middle. So I've done the hard vegetables, the onion and carrot. Now I'm doing the sort of middle vegetables, broccoli, capsicum, and letting those have a good stir and a good cook along. Get them going. What I like to do is, and everybody does this differently, this is just the way I do it. There's a lot of garlic in there, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's not burn that. Is I like to put the lid on that, which is, that is, where have I got the lid here? And turn it down a bit, and let them have steam for a bit. And that is because Mr. Farmer likes them a little softer. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to let that simmer for not long, 5 minutes maybe or so. I'm going to pause you, I'm going to watch a little bit of Koro, have another little sip of my wine, put these leftover vegetables that I've used, all the bits away, and I'll come back and then I'll show you the stage 2. By then my fish that's in the oven will need turning, and the veggies will need the next layer, the last layer. It's sort of 3 layers. The first layer is your flavourings, your garlic and your carrots, your hard vegetables and onion, and then the next layer is your sort of medium-sized soft vegetables, broccoli, capsicums, any vegetable that you like. You know, you've got zucchinis, beans, whatever you like, put in there. Whatever you've got, more, you know, if you've just got frozen peas or frozen corn, or what, you can put whatever you like in there. So that's next, and then the next layer is ones like carrot. Sometimes, and I'm not in the mood today, I'm not going to do it, but sometimes I cook some 2-minute noodles, not the flavouring, just the noodles, and I add those at the very end just to add a little bit of starch. Mr. Farmer doesn't like noodles or pasta or rice at all, but he will tolerate just a smidge of those sort of fine noodles in 2-minute noodles, but I'm not going to do that today. We're just going to have it as is. So when these are done and I've added the cabbage, then we can add some salt and my other flavourings, my top layer of flavourings. So we'll be back soon. Hi everyone. Apologise for not finishing my stir fry with you. I was pottering around thinking I had videoed it and I had not pushed play or record, and then what I had pushed was record later on when Mr. Farmer and I were chatting away. Chatting. You don't want to hear that all boring stuff, so I didn't put it on. So as you've just seen with the stir fry, what I got to was the last layer, the last level. And what I do, what I like to do is combined ABC soy sauce, which is really sweet and very thick. It's a beautiful, I love it. It's a sweet soy sauce, thicker, and sweet chili sauce. So I like to put about a quarter of, oh no, it's not on, quarter of a cup of this and a quarter of a cup of that, and I spray it all over. And then I put the cabbage in. The last layer is the cabbage, excuse me, and I stir that all through, make sure this all gets in and that the cabbage all gets coated and the veggies all get coated. Then I just give it a few minutes to finish off and it's done. And I'll attach a picture, hopefully here, Donna, to remember here, and then you can see the finished product. It was beautiful. So now I am going to, yesterday we had a lovely time. My granddaughter's baby shower, so she's due in 3, nearly 4 weeks. And yeah, we're really excited, looking forward to Bubby coming along. So she had a baby shower yesterday where all the family and whānau were there, which was very special. So today I am going to make when I take lunch most days, sometimes I try really hard not to buy it because that gets very expensive. So I've been really enjoying my frozen toasted sandwiches. I think I've got 1 or 2 left, so I'm going to do those, but not today. Maybe next weekend. I haven't eaten, I've still got a couple of stir-fry rice sitting there, and I think I've still got 1 macaroni cheese, but it is coming into warmer season, and I thought, oh, what do I like in the warmer seasons? And the first thing I like, oh, I didn't bring a jar out, is what I tend to do, and I'm not going to do this today either, but I can do it another day, is I layer salads and put them in jars in the fridge. So we can do that another day. But today, what we're going to do, it seems I've kept you hanging on the edge, is make a homemade 2-minute noodles or a homemade cup of soup. Whichever you prefer. You can make it thicker and more substance and make it more, or you can make it less substance and make it more of a soup. So I do both, just depends what mood I'm in. So I am going to make homemade 2-minute noodles today, so they won't have any preservatives or additives in them, which is what I love, and it's a great way of using all my dehydrated bits and pieces as well. So I'm going to bring you down, I'm going to talk you through it. I've got 3 that I have made up. I don't want to lose you. Where are you? There you are. So I've got 3 that I've made up here. I've got the chicken one, I've got the beef one, and I've got one that I made earlier. This was my last one that was left from my last lot, and so I thought I'd make that up, and I was going to have it for my lunch. But I've made them all up because I really wanted to review them. It's been a little while since I've made them, and I wanted to be upfront and honest with you about what they taste like and what they're like. So this is the 2-minute noodle one, and what I do is use vermicelli noodles, if you can see those in there. Now I don't have any vermicelli noodles at the moment. You can use the 2-minute noodle pack. It's an instant noodle pack that you buy. I'm not sure what they're called in other countries, but here they're called 2-minute noodles, and you can use the noodles and eliminate the flavouring and put your own flavouring in if you don't want the preservatives and additives and colourings. That's one way of just being able to stay away from those. But I use vermicelli noodles, which is good, but it can, I don't know if anyone's ever tried to cut a thing of sort of a parcel of vermicelli up into halves. It's it's so hard to do, even with scissors. So you know, either you put the whole bunch in, which makes a heck of a lot, double this is a half one, but they work really well. So if you like vermicelli noodles, and don't be afraid to put the whole packet in, you'll get a lot of noodles. or if you can find a way that's, I mean, I use scissors to cut them in half, but it's quite laborious. And the other thing with vermicelli noodles is they don't tend to stay fresh for long. They can get quite hard after a while. They become quite coarse and hard if left, you know, they don't store particularly well. I suppose I could use my dryer, not my dryer, my food saver, and take the air out. That would be one way of storing them. And I probably could do that, but I really can't be bothered today. It's Sunday afternoon. It's back to work tomorrow. I've done a 6-day week last week, and I just can't be bothered today. So I'm going to make them as quick as possible. So I'm not going to make one of these ones today, but this one has, I absolutely love, and these are such a childhood memory, dehydrated minted peas. Now, I just love them. They're sweet and they're like a lolly to me. And so this one is a chicken base with dehydrated mint peas in it, and just a chicken base, which you'll see as I'm making them along. And that's all this is. Quite simple. Chicken base, dehydrated mint peas, and vermicelli. So it's yummy. It's mild, very mild, kind of on a sweeter side, and I wouldn't go bam with flavour, but just mild. So that's that one. This one here is my beef one, and I'm going to be making 4 beef and 4 chicken. So as I said, I didn't have any vermicelli, but what I do have is cooked dehydrated rice. So this is rice that I cooked ages ago, and I made a lot of it, and so I dehydrated what was left. So it doesn't need cooking again, it just needs reabsorbing, so it's perfect for in here, if you can see those in there. So this is a beef flavoured one. I'm going to use exactly the same recipe for both, except one I'm going to use beef stock and one I'm going to use chicken stock. So that's really the only difference today, just for simplicity, but I'll talk you through some options along the way that you can do to make some changes. So this one, I'll give it a little taste. It's very beefy. It's very much like a beef. It's actually very yummy. It's very much like a beef cup of soup. So if you like beef soup, that's that one. And this one is the chicken flavoured. And again, it's got exactly the same in it as the other one. So it's got the rice, the rice in it. And I'll show you what else is in it later. This is the chicken stock one. It's a little bit hotter because I made it later. Yeah, and that was lovely too. A little bit saltier. Maybe the chicken stock is saltier than the beef stock, and the beef stock is a stronger flavour. So this one is on a saltier level, so I'm going to watch that when I make it. I might put a tad less of the salt in because it is saltier. But it's just as nice, although I think I prefer the beef. But I'm going to make both because it depends on my mood on the day. So down here I have a little bags. When I first started making these, I used to make them in jars. But of course, when you pour boiling water in, even if you put a teaspoon in to absorb the heat, they can crack. So yeah, that's a bit of a pain. So because I'm just going to have these in my cupboard at work, and keep some in the pantry here, so I'll have a few here for the weekends, but mostly I'll have them in the cupboard at work for during the weekday. We'll just put them in these little plastic bags, and then what I can do is tip the plastic bag into the cup and pour the boiling water in. That's all I do, and then I just leave them for a couple of minutes, give them a really good stir, so that everything sort of dissolves and does all what it's supposed to do. Right, so let's put you through this. So I'm going to do 4 beef ones to start with. So I've got beef stock here, and it's such an easy recipe, so easy to remember. It's a teaspoon of everything, and half a teaspoon of salt. But that doesn't include the whatever you put in the vermicelli or the rice. That's purely flavourings. So a teaspoon. I'm actually going to. And I'm not normally this fussy with measuring, but I'm going to do that today, because I want to be able to, let me put that in the jar, to, just know that I've put the exact same amount in every one, And so 1 teaspoon of beef stock, 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs. Now you could use parsley, dehydrated parsley, or nothing really, or dehydrated chives, any sort of green, I suppose, but I do like the mixed herbs. It adds a complex of flavours rather than just one. So a teaspoon of mixed herbs, a teaspoon of garlic powder in each one. Oops, starting to get a bit low on that. I might need another one soon. Now I'll tell you what would be nice in here, and I unfortunately don't have any at the moment, is tomato powder. So if you dehydrate any tomatoes, you can powder them up and add these. That would be really nice with beef and tomato. This is a teaspoon of onion powder. So we've got garlic powder and onion powder. Teaspoon of onion powder. Of course you can eliminate any of these and make one lot, make 1 cupful like I've just done before, and try it out first. Don't go, what else have I got there? So is that it? Onion powder, garlic powder, mixed herbs. That's my rice. So I put in a heaping rice, and quite a bit because I like it. In fact, I might even put 1.5 in. So I'm going to put 1.5 tablespoons of rice in there. And as I said, you can add your vermicelli or whatever. The key is that it's got to be cooked and dehydrated. So if you've got a dehydrator, you could cook up, I don't know, some arboria rice or some anything you like. But this is what I've got at the moment, so that's what I'm going to use. Now this is where the fun bit puts. You can put whatever you like in, and as I said in my vermicelli one there, I have dehydrated mint peas. Now I have in here some dehydrated carrot. Now it's not cooked, it's raw, but just for health and a vegetable, I'm going to put what's probably a teaspoon, but I'm just going to pick up a handful, fingers full, 3, and that's dehydrated carrot. And again, that is just whatever you have in the cupboard. This one here is dehydrated mixed vegetables. So these were cooked, they were leftovers from a meal. So there are peas and beans and carrots. And that, oh no, beg your pardon, this is mushrooms. These are raw. I'm not going to put too many in there. They're more for flavour, because the texture of them, because they were raw, they can go a little bit chewy, but they do add a nice sort of background flavour, particularly in the beef one. You could add more if you really like them like that, or you could cook the mushrooms and then dehydrate them and then put them in. It's only because I'm just using what I've got, so that's what I've got. This is some mixed veggies. So this is, we had leftover mixed veggies. I don't cook with frozen mixed veggies very often, but I did at one stage when I had a whole lot of kids, grandchildren here, and just needed to that last one I didn't put much in there. And the last one I've got, we have really enjoyed, and I can't wait to put my tomatoes in. I've got my tomato plants ready, is little cherry tomatoes, and I'm going to put a reasonable amount of those in there because I really love those. They are the scrummies. They're like little lollies. They're a bit like the mint peas. Okay. Last but not least is salt. Now you can put a 1/2 teaspoon of just ordinary salt in here, and pepper if you want, but I've got my flavoured salt, which we love, and that's got paprika and oregano, thyme, salt, all in there. And the taste of the beef one was not as salty. I suppose it depends on the stock, so I'm just going to put a little under a teaspoon, maybe not a 1/2, but in the chicken I'm going to put a 1/2, because you know, I do like the stronger flavour, particularly in the beef. That is it. That is my beef, either cup of soup if you put lots of water in, take the air out, or if you don't put lots of water in and add some more rice, you can make them into a 2-minute noodles, so they're a bit more flavourful.
And of course you can add whatever you like. As I've said, these are so versatile. If you've got leftover veggies in the fridge, you can throw those in when you make them, and use this more like just a stocky type thing or something. But they're so handy for lunches too, especially when it's not cold, but it's just not salad weather. So that's the beef ones done. I'll put those over here. Where? I don't know where. I'll put them back where I picked them up from, shall I? And let's put in these some more plastic bags. I will reuse these, so I will keep these for, I was using jars, so I'm going to change because I had one crack on me and I wasn't particularly happy about that. So, but what I will do is I will keep these bags specifically for these. So when I empty them, I'll put them back. I'll store them where I keep my made ones, and I will then I will know that those bags are specifically for these and can be reused, because there's nothing in here that's going to hurt plastic bag long term to keep them reused. I was going to just sit these on the ground and do them, but by golly, it was a pain. And once you've started using these plastic bag holders, you'll never go back. So, exactly the same, except we're going to use chicken stock. So it's a teaspoon of chicken stock, and again I'm going to measure it perfectly because, again, I want to make sure that each one has the base that is exactly the same, so that I know every time I make them the base flavour is consistent. So beef stock, chicken stock, sorry, garlic powder, put the spoon down, where, don't know where. I'm having an awful time with my eyes. I have really deteriorated, so today I have been playing with my phone to put voiceover on it, which is amazing. So I've been playing with that, and I've been playing to be able to put my Alexa, a teaspoon of mixed herbs, to put my Alexa on. And yeah, just making things, after this I'm going to play with my TV remote, which I believe can be onion powder, teaspoon of onion powder, which I believe can be voice controlled. And just because, I mean, I still can see some things, I still have a circular vision, so I can see this jar, or I can see my phone, but that's it, everything else is dark around it. But my eyes, by golly, my eyes get tired, so tired. Yeah, and they really start to hurt a bit. So, onion, garlic, herbs, stock, rice, rice. Again, I might even use all of this up by the looks of it. This was a really good idea. So if you're ever cooking rice for a meal, cook some extra and dehydrate it, and then you're ready for your 1.5 tablespoons in each. So I'm going to have to do that again because it's the last of that. That was so handy. And then just the little, what do you call them, accoutrements. So what else would be quite nice in these? Tomato powder I always talked about. You could put chili flakes in here. That would be very nice if you want some chili, a bit of bam. You could put curry powder, or curry powder if you want. What I want to play with one day is like a laksa type flavour, because I love laksa cup of soup. Nothing for another lot. And yeah, just play with your flavours, whatever you want. Oops. Well, these are great in the cupboard for lunches. And the last one, oh no, not the last one, but carrot, dehydrated carrot. I mean, you could put dehydrated zucchini, which would thicken it up a wee bit. You could put a little bit of corn flour in there and actually cook them if you wanted them a little bit thicker. I don't bother. And salt, wherever my salt is. Where did I put my salt? This is when I love being blind. Can you see it, guys? Oh, I can't see my salt. It's got to be here somewhere because I just used it, didn't I? There it is. There it is, there it is, there it is. And because that chicken stock, it was quite salty, I'm only going to put a half teaspoon in each of these rather than a whole one. The recipe actually says half a teaspoon, I think, from memory. Gosh, from memory, going back memory. Oh, and I might just put a little bit of zhuzh of pepper in each one of these. I think my blades might be going on my pepper grinder, just for something different, so that they're a wee bit different and distinct from each other. There we go. There is my chicken ones. If you have any leftover chicken in your fridge from tea the night before or something, you could add that if you want. Gosh, the world is your oyster with this, really. Just whatever you want to cook and dehydrate, you can add. But I have found these so handy. Oh. There we go. 8 bags, 2-minute noodles, 4 beef, 4 chicken, either 2-minute noodles, a cup of soup, whichever I want to do. Let's see how these are going after sitting all that time. So that, oh, you can see, I hope you can see how nice and thick that is. There's a lot of substance in there. Oh yeah, that is the chicken one. It is a tad salty. Not salty enough for me to go, oh gosh, I'm not eating that, but it is quite salty. And this is the beef one. You can see that those veggies have really bloomed. I love the beef one. That would be so nice with, oh, sugar, with some, I won't try the vermicelli one, wherever it is, there it is, because I know I love it. That's my favourite. So I'll just bring you back up. There we go. That's today's thing. Homemade 2-minute noodles. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Done. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Catch you next week. Yes, I'm in my uniform, my weekend uniform. So as soon as the weekend and I'm going to do gardening and cooking and all sorts of things, I just put this on. The only time I wear a pinny is if I have something nice on that I don't want to get dirty. Enjoy the rest of your week. Catch you next week. Bye for now.